Hey everyone, Bandicoot Commando here, and welcome back to Multiverses. Last time,
누구 선택할 거예요?
I did some matches with Marvin here. Didn't really have a good run because we were having some bad lag near the end. So fingers crossed that we will be okay for today. Because today, I'm going to show off some matches with Reindog here. Before we get started, yes, I'm on here with the Battle Pass now. So, pretty much getting close to the halfway point of it. For events, we're now on the Circuit Drones event, which is similar to the Multiversal games. So basically, the goal is, buy any of the skins here, the Circuit Drone skins. Hold on. Yeah. Buy any of the Circuit Drone skins for the characters here and go into battle to earn some extra XP and everything else. And quite a good number of characters, like the characters I use especially, but I really don't want to use any Gleamium right now. I guess I will buy Rain Dogs. I don't have any circuits. Ooh, that's a cool screen. Okay, so where is that on here? Oh, wow, that's right there. Okay, now, before we start, as you can see, Reindog has a lot of skins. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 15 skins as of now. He is the only character who has this amount of skins. The second highest amount would probably have to be, I think it has to be either Bugs or, no, not Batman. It might just be Bugs. Oh, not Harley. Shaggy, maybe? Shaggy has a good amount, but does Bugs? Yeah, Bugs surpasses him. I think Velma also, Velma is close to Bugs, I believe. Yeah, Velma and Bugs tie for having the most skins. And so does Clark. Clark comes close as well. It's just crazy how many skins some characters have. So anyway, it's going to be a long while with Reindog here. So, well, enjoy. Alrighty, people, so Reindog. As I've explained, Reindog is an original creation to this game. He is not based on anyone or from any sort of... He's not from any sort of intellectual property, which is a bit strange considering that, you know, he is original. He doesn't, like... You'd think he would at least maybe have elements of something, but who knows? Maybe Reindog was an example, because this video I'm not only going to be talking about Reindog and his movesets and all of that, but I'm also going to go over some of the game's history. But one part of Reindog's history is the fact that when Player First Games was working on Multiverses, the earliest pitch they had was a standard original brawling style video game. Apparently, their earliest idea was they did want to make a new fighting game with original characters. Reindog is possibly a remnant of this, and he may or may not be the only remnant, but Tony Hua, who is the game director, he has stated before that if people want another original character like Reindog, they can make it if they want, and I feel like we should get another original character. Maybe being from the same world as Reindog. But maybe more on that at another point. So, to go over Reindog's story, though, according... Hang on, I gotta pull this up, really, to get a reminder. But according to his official profile from the website and from other, you know, supplementary material stuff, Reindog is from a world called Xanifear. I think that's how you pronounce it. Xanifear, and he is the guardian of the royal family. However, the Nothing has arrived to his universe, and it was the first to fall, and he was the only survivor. But Reindog can only hope that he can somehow, you know, restore the royal family he was sworn to protect, and his world, more importantly.
Think. What we think.
Now, I mentioned the Nothing, and the thing is, Reindog possibly, he and his world could be a reference to the never-ending story somehow. But before I get to that, the Nothing is basically, in this game at least, you know, in the few times that you've seen me fight, you may have noticed the knockout, like see the edge of the screen, the blast zone and all that, where it looks like a void? That is meant to be the Nothing. But what makes it interesting is that in the book, in both the movie and book version of the never-ending story, the Nothing is described and depicted quite differently than how it is in the game here. And that is how, in the book, it's hard to describe how it looks in the book. It's just simply the complete absence of anything is the best way to describe it. But in the film, in the movie, it is depicted as, basically, well, not so much as depicted, but in the movie, it's represented by rolling storm clouds approaching, and people thought this was meant to be the Nothing, but really, it's meant to signal its arrival and presence, because it's meant to be an invisible force. The Nothing, the living embodiment of mankind's forgotten hopes and dreams. The Nothing was an invisible force manipulated by the unseen manipulators that nearly wiped out the fantastical land of Fantasia, a dimension that encompasses all of human imagination and is contained in a magical, never-ending book. It was only thanks to the imagination of a young boy named Bastian, who stole the book from a mysterious bookshop owner named Mr. Correndier, that Fantasia was restored and the Nothing was kept at bay. However, as long as humans continue to lose sight of their dreams, the Nothing will inevitably regain its power, and now it has returned. But it is not limiting itself to Fantasia anymore. I keep saying Fantasia because I believe that's how it's meant to be pronounced. Like, it looks like Fantasia, but like I said, I'm pretty sure it's meant to be pronounced Fantasia. Not to mention, you know, the story was originally written in German. It was by a German author, so before it got translated into America, into English and such. For the never-ending story, and that is if you want to see Reindog and his kingdom from the never-ending story, which again, I don't know for sure if that's what they're going with. It's been ages since I've last seen the movie. Like, I mean, I did see it like maybe a year or two ago, but I ended up falling asleep at one point to it. I had a long day, and I was pretty tired, so yeah, it was just bad timing. I literally woke up as it was coming to an end. But one of these days, I'll try watching it again and try not to fall asleep, but the only thing I remember more from the Never-Ending Story was I'm pretty sure many kids of my generation who have seen the movie and such can attest to it. But it is during the scene where, just give me a sec. I'm looking for it. Oh, you know what? The best way to search for it. There we go.
Lucky, but dangerous.
This is describing the book. Yeah, this is describing the book version. I don't want the book version. There we go. That's better. Yes, here it is. This is what I was looking for. But, the part that I will always remember from... Oh yeah, before I finish, Reindog has a number of different costumes that are just all original, but they are themed after something. So in this case, he's got this astronaut costume here. This costume, I believe, was free to... I think it was free to download when the game opened back up and launched. Or, alternatively, it was available to beta players. And because I played the beta, yeah. So anyway, the scene I was trying to bring up that I remember the most from the Never-Ending Story was basically when Atreyu and his horse Artix, when she, when the poor horse just sinks in the bog. And it's just so, it was so heart-wrenching. And as I was a young boy when I saw that, and it definitely, no doubtably, like,
Dangerous.
I want to say it no doubtably, you know, did something. It, don't want to say it traumatized me, but it's probably the reason why anytime I see movies or games that have horses and the horses get killed or severely injured, it's probably why I always, yeah, you get what I'm saying. So, I'm going to stop talking about Never-Ending Story related stuff now and actually get to the meat and bones of Reindog here. So, Reindog was not originally a mage class character. Initially, he was a support character. Am I, okay, this costume. This is just simply known as Guardian Reindog. I'm going to assume this costume, though, even though it's original, is meant to be what he wore when he was on duty, when he was doing his job as the Guardian of Xanaphir. So, anyway, as I was trying to say, Reindog was originally a support class character, and he wasn't the only one. In the beta, there were other characters that had support on it. Gizmo, Velma, Steven. They were the few characters that had support. But, when the game came out final, they dropped it. I'm assuming it's because, other than the fact not a lot of people used the support characters, but even when they did, they never used them as they were intended. Well, not so much as intended, but it's more of a support characters, or at least characters that had the support tag. Their specials and moves were often linked to having to involve 2v2s, really. Either providing armor, providing ways to, you know, help with buffs and debuffs, and so on and so forth. So, for Reindog's neutral attack, he just spits an energy ball. Originally in the beta, you were only allowed to shoot like I think it was, he had a limited amount of how many of those he could spit. But, the longer you charge, the longer the energy ball will last. And also, you can influence its direction slightly before he spits it out. For his side attack, he just does a few swipes with his claws before ending with a little headbutt of using his antlers. His head, his antlers. Pretty standard. His up attack on the ground, he just lurches upwards with his back, and that one is actually pretty deceptive because of how high he can leap up from it. And his down is a tail swipe. The tail swipe also can break through armor, well, bypass. As for the air versions of the moves, they're roughly the same. Well, the neutral and down are the same in terms of using the energy sphere and the tail. But in the air, his side attack is that he rolls. He does a rolling spin attack, curled up. It does multi-hits, and I messed up there on accident. I could have won that fight.
We don't have to do this. But if you
This is the golden armor skin. In the beta, this was a skin that was made available, but you needed like a lot of gold for it. I think you needed like it was a lot. You had to pay. You had to have at least 30,000 gold, I believe, in order to unlock it. But here, I wasn't able to get that much back in the beta, so I just simply, you know, use Gleamium, because why not? Anyway, the sides attack, as I said, it's just a multi-hitting spin move he'll do. Does help out quite a bit. For his specials, his neutral is referred to as the leash, or the love leash, really, but basically Reindog will shoot out a little heart symbol, and there'll be an energy stream flowing from it. Enemies that are caught within the energy beam, they'll take damage, and they'll continuously take damage until, you know, it wears off, or if they just, you know, jump to do everything they can to avoid it. But it's good to soften up enemies, though. But what the real purpose of the neutral special is that if you are doing 2v2s, if you're close enough to your partner and you use it, you will be able to tether on to your teammate. Once your teammate is tethered, if you press special again, Reindog will yank them over to him. It's good to save your teammate if they're in a bad situation. Like if they need to be pulled out because they're getting wombo comboed, or if they're being launched and if they're possibly about to go into the blast zone. It's a good way to save them. Reindog's side special is that he does a little lunge attack. The lunge also has a purple aura on it, so it'll allow you to, again, bypass armor. If you can bypass armor, it's a good thing to have. Now, his up special, which I've used a few times, and normally I don't use it that much, but I'm now finding better use of it, is Reindog will throw up a crystal, a floating crystal, and it will slowly descend, float down and everything. But what this crystal will do is that it will shoot up. It will shoot every few seconds a bolt of electricity. If Reindog or his teammates get hit by it, it'll actually electrify them and will give them, it'll allow them to inflict the static. It'll allow them to inflict the static debuff on enemies.
Here it is.
Therefore, if enemies get hit by it, they take damage, and very rarely they'll get inflicted with the static. And as for Reindog's down special, he'll shoot a
Don't
fireball.
have to do this.
And if that fireball either hits the opponent and or if it hits the opponent and or just simply hits the ground or whatever, it'll go poof. But if you have a signature perk like I do, it'll create that firewall that you've seen. As for the air versions of these moves, they're only the neutral and down are the same. The side air special is what I just did there. Reindog will do like a spiraling tackle attack. Very good, does some good damage, and it's deceptive, very deceptive to use with it. While Reindog's up special, if used in the air, he'll curl himself up in a ball, but from there, once you hit the ground, you can roll around, but this doesn't really do anything. Like,
Back in
it's
action.
not like Sonic the Hedgehog where you could just like roll into enemies or whatever. That's not how it works, as much as that nice as that would be. But what it does is that, or what it will do, is that if you have a teammate for 2v2, what it will do is that your teammate can pick you up and throw you like a projectile. It actually does some really good damage, but
Hold still.
I believe the downside to it though is that once you're thrown, and if
Make me do this.
your enemies dodge,
Don't make me do this.
the downside is that you will keep flying, or at least, keep going until you break out of your ball form to save yourself. So again, it's a case of where it's pretty good, and even on its own, it's good to save yourself with. I've used it a few times I have used it several times myself in order to like do recovery, because when Reindog does it, he does gain a bit of a bounce after he uses it, so it does help with recovery somewhat. And like I said, it's good and it's fast. So with these moves and how Reindog works overall, what's weird is that he's considered a medium character, but in the... Oh yeah, so this is Reindog's tea time costume, where he just basically looks kind of like the Mad Hatter from Alice in Wonderland. So, anyway, overall, Reindog is, like, he was meant to be used for beginners, or recommended in the beta, but then he got changed into a medium difficulty character, but he's still rather, like, simple to learn and use. But one of Reindog's main downsides is that, as you can see for the most part, I can't really... his moves aren't very damaging. I mean, they are, but the problem is that they just lack enough launching and killing power. But this is why the idea with Reindog is to use his specials, the fire, the leash, and of course the electricity from the crystals, to weaken the enemies as much as you can. And once they get to a certain point of damage, all it takes is either one charged up special or even a good tail swipe to finish the job. It's quite a number of factors into it, but it's just how it is. But since he was originally a support class character, Reindog works better in 2v2s, where you can save your teammate when you use the neutral, and likewise, you can provide enhancements with the up special. Oh, and also for these character perks, I mentioned that the one that I use, at least on this custom setup I have, I use the one where it creates the firewall, and it's handy because, see, even though, you know, I've done my damage and the giant stayed within that firewall that would not be there normally. But the other character perk he has is that when you use the crystal will still float and descend, but it will follow Reindog at all times until it either gets destroyed, or I think until it also like hits the bottom. In which, again, very handy, very good to have. Okay, did I rematch him here? Or, okay, I rematched him. I'll stop talking of Reindog when we get to a certain part with his costumes. At least until we get to the ones where it's like, yeah, this is the Shark Week bit, and this is the Toon version. Like, once we get to those, that's when I'll be able to stop talking and let the rest of this play out. So I talked about that. I talked about the possible origin of the never-ending story. Yeah, now he gets the gall to use emotes, and it's like, if you were able to do this all this time, why didn't you do it in the first place? Oh yeah, before I get to anything else really, the fact I should share about Reindog is, for the longest time, at least up until patch, there we go. Oh yeah, what patch was it? Looking, because I don't have good memory. Oh, this is gonna take a while to look through. I think I can find it faster if I go through here, because I often make sure to tell my friend on Discord, my good teammate buddy, whenever we do missions and rifts together and such. Somewhere in our conversation. Somewhere in our long conversations here. I'm getting warmer. I know I'm getting warmer. Here we are. I was looking for the user here, so I can find that. Yes, there we go. To get a reminder on what the patch was. When patch 1.05 dropped, that would change things. For the longest time, Reindog did not have any voice lines at all, which is weird, because for a while he did have his voice actor listed, Andrew Frankel, but for the longest time he had his voice lines just were not in the game. This is Chef Reindog. So it took up to that point in the game for Reindog to get his voice in, but what's weird is that at the earliest, during the beta, when there was a TikTok going over with the voice actors, it showed Andrew Frankel, and it also gave a sample of his voice of Reindog, where he made standard barking and dog sounds. This got brought up again when the game was nearing release, and the trailers for the Rifts was made, where Reindog takes over to explain some parts of the Rifts. And again, Reindog's voice for that one is similar to the TikTok one that I mentioned. But still, in the final, Reindog remained silent. It wasn't until when the patch came out during the Megalodog event of Shark Week that Reindog finally was given his voice lines, but they're a lot different than how they were. Because as you can hear, he's got a deeper sounding voice, and it's all distorted and everything. Makes me even wonder if he can, like, if he does speak or not, because of how, well, speak in the sense of if he can actually speak any sort of language, because at least in the Rifts, yeah, he does speak with text boxes and everything, but other than that, okay, there are just some people that I don't like this Steven player here. Look, if you're gonna be doing all of this maneuverability stuff, play rank mode. What's the point of you doing, you know, non-rank mode? The only reason I'm doing it is to both level up and do my dailies. If you've already done that, your dailies, go to rank mode. Be someone else's fly. Alrighty, so I think that's enough talking about Reindog, other than the occasional outfit I'll have to bring up. So let's talk of stuff that's been leaked lately for Season 2. I think I briefly brought up some of the stuff that got leaked during Season 1, but here I'll bring it up more so. Okay, this was... Oh, I remember this. Dragon Reindog. It works well because of the down special. I'll also say from here, this is where I begin to have a bad day, because I think from this moment onwards, I did not win any matches. Part of it was because there are points where, as you will see, I get some form of lag, and again, always last minute that I get a form of lag. So, anyway, back to the leaks. I need to go back because I was talking about them with my friend here. I'm not going to show the images of these things, obviously, because the person who did reveal and leak the majority of them, their account got removed, but hey, they did us a good service. Okay, let's see. I'm getting close to where I brought it up with my friend. If I didn't bring up the stuff from Season 1, I'll bring it up here again then. Almost there. Okay. Here we go. So, for some of the stuff that was leaked for this season, in terms of models and everything for characters that haven't been released yet, the first is Nubia. Nubia is the sister of Diana, Wonder Woman, at least in the older comics. I don't know if that is still the case or not. And while Nubia had had her voice lines in the game ever since the beta, nobody really knew for sure if Nubia was just simply a skin variant, or if she was a character of her own. It was hard to tell at the time. Nobody really knew. It could have been any of them. Evidence could have pointed to either of them. But with this one render image of her model, it does confirm that yes, She is her own character. How she'll play and operate is a different story, but I would assume she would somewhat function like Diana, but unlike her, with Diana using a sword and shield, Nubia just uses a spear, so I would at least assume that she may not be a tank, but she'll be a brute.
This is only a minor setback to the greatness that is no.
Even though one of her voice lines has her mention the lasso of truth, but I would assume that
Nothing will stop me this time.
see how I lagged a bit there?
미안하지만 지셨어요.
Even though I was just standing there doing nothing.
Just like Steven's Lonely Blade games.
The Megalo Dog. This skin's actually kind of unique because it is both, not just a Shark Week skin, but it is also considered a beach-ready skin. So, if you ever have to do missions in the future that, for whatever reason, say you need to use a beach-ready character, and if you have this one, it counts as a beach-ready. Even though I feel like it should have strictly just been a Shark Week skin. Anyway, so yeah, Nubia, she's in the game. One thing that is in this game, and it'll be coming sometime later this season, is the Teen Titans Tower. Now, the tower is playable in the Samurai Jack rift for like 2 or 3 of the nodes. Yeah, look, see? Lag. Why the lag? And I played through the stage. It's a pretty standard stage for the most part, but still, it's pretty... What I like is that in the background, Shaggy and Jake are like on the couch, on their couch and TV, and they're just playing video games, and it's just funny to me, because I never really took Shaggy as a gamer. Oh, wait a minute, hold on. Shaggy was a gamer, because they established that in the 4th direct-to-video movie. The Cyber Chase one. Still, it's just a funny image to see Jake and Shaggy, you know, playing video games together. But yeah, it's a pretty simple stage where the idea is that there are these 2 barriers, but once they break, I think there's a variant of the stage where it doesn't have those barriers, but there's part of the stage that starts to extract, and it's just nothing but the platform you're standing on. Now, another thing that was discovered is Marceline from Adventure Time. What makes her unique is that not only does she have her default-looking appearance, but she also has her monster form, her bat monster form, which will no doubtably play a role in her gameplay. But at the moment, we don't know exactly how she'll play, but according to some data streams on her, she apparently will use her bass guitar, either as part of her moveset or specials, and she apparently has some kind of rhythm mechanic, similar to Garnet actually, but like when Garnet uses her neutral special. And also when Gizmo is using his neutral special, so time will tell if she has a similar gimmick to that or not, but that is basically part of it. There we go. I think I did rematch this Garnet and lost, but okay, so I didn't really lose that much, but still.
This is what I've been training.
I know I lost the rematch, though. Whoops. Now, as for stages, well, actually, hold on. Also, the render model for the Powerpuff Girls was found as well. We know the girls were coming into the game because they were teased almost as early when the Banana Guard was revealed. On the Batcave's Bat computer, you can see what I think was meant to be their old profile icon when you were selecting them. But here, they're here. We don't know how the girls will work though, because all three of them are present, so... But according to their voice lines, they apparently have some kind of tag-in, tag-out mechanic.
Full impact.
Kind of like Pokemon Trainer from the Smash series, but... Again, we really don't know. Only time will tell. The girls will either be dropping this season, which I don't know for sure, or they might come into Season 3. Now,
Gauntlets ready.
for stages. I've mentioned this, I'm pretty sure I said this before, but if I haven't, I'll go over it again, just in case. But way back in Season 1, along with the water tower, some stages were, renders of stages were discovered. Along with the water tower, those stages were, as I keep scrolling, because I know here it is. There is one for Camp Crystal Lake from Friday the 13th, the Acme Labs from Pinky and the Brain,
I must admit.
and Cat Concerto, or Cat Concerto, which was the Tom and Jerry cartoon of the same name, where in that cartoon, Tom is trying to play one of the Hungarian Rhapsodies on piano, and Jerry happens to be in the piano that night and doesn't like the fact that he can't sleep with Tom playing that piano. Now, for this season, more stages were discovered and such. Whoa, whoops. So, one of the stages is known as Wabbit season. And I did say Wabbit that way. Oh, and this skin that Reindog has, this is referred to as Business Tycoon Reindog, where, yeah, he just looks like an old-timey business tycoon with the monocle and all of that.
I am centered.
So, Wabbit season. Another stage is known as the Coyote Desert, which is meant to be based on the desert of the Wile E. Coyote cartoons. It was probably, the stage is probably still going to come into the game, but I think it was meant to tie into the Coyote versus Acme movie, which to this day, you know, it's still gone. I really don't want to talk about it. This is what I hate about Samurai Jack players. They always do this. Find something new to do, Jack players. Actually do something creative. Don't just stand at the... Don't just be edge guarding and spamming that side special. Actually use your other moves. Anyway, back to stages. Let's see, I went over Coyote Desert. There's one based on the movie theater from Gremlins called Midnight Showing, where it takes like in the backstage of the theater, similar to where Billy and what was her name? Now I have to look that up to make sure. Let's see. Well, basically, that in that part of the movie, Billy and his they're not girlfriend or anything, but
My apologies, Reindog.
but they're oh, Kate. Yeah, her name was Kate. Billy and Kate get ready to. That is the cyber skin for Reindog. I'm gonna see if I can get all the cyber skins, or at least for the characters I use. This Shaggy player, like, look how he's just, look at that. Just go to rank mode. If you're gonna be doing this just go to rank mode. Unless you're afraid of being, you know, a little fish in a big pond. Anyway. Yeah, midnight showing from that part in Gremlins. There's another Townsville stage that's based on the Capitol building there, but the platforms are destroyed. It's at nighttime, and in the background, some of it is on fire, and there's other destruction going on, which means him is attacking the stage. As for additional stages that were found, I'll only go over a few of them. These additional stages are in like a block mesh format, so they're not fully like defined and spread out and stuff like that. But one of them is based on Barbie's Dream House. I believe it's based on the one from the Barbie movie. I don't know if this means Barbie herself will be in the game, but that would be rather interesting. One that looks like Steamboat Willie, but from what I've done research on, it's not actually Steamboat Willie. It is like on a riverboat, but according to what I've read, it's called like Over the Garden Wall, which I find intriguing. Oh, this was Over the Garden Wall? I mean, I've seen images of these characters. When did this come out? Okay, they're right. It's been a decade. I assumed that this was like a British show, or at least it was a show that was exclusive to Britain or something, because, yeah, it's got a lot of, like, I'm seeing that it has a lot of, recognizable, like, British voice actors, because it has Curry knows how to do a British voice. It has Christopher Lloyd, who's not British, John Cleese. It has a lot of voice actors. Wow, that's cool. Elijah Wood, though, and Colin Dean. That's incredible. Maybe I should watch it, see if it's any good or not. So there's that. There's one that is meant to be based on the middle of nowhere of Courage the Cowardly Dog. Then there's one that is the Quidditch field from Harry Potter and Hogwarts. And one that is meant to be a Mad Max one. So there's quite a lot of more stuff in here that's coming out, which over time, we'll see how it'll turn out over time. As I do know, I think Tony Hua did say that they wanted to add as much as they can and keep it going for as long as possible. Like, there's no limit to the roster. They just want to add as much as humanly possible. Oh yeah, another thing I forgot to mention is, when that patch dropped that gave Reindog his voice, some other things were found and discovered. One of them would be for skin variants that, for some characters. One of them being, okay, not so much as one of them, but essentially, there is basically one. Yeah, the rest of these skins are just going to be the original stuff. So the Matrix Code, Shark Week hat, and the Toonverse. But I got to get over this stuff I'm saying quickly. Other voice lines that were discovered. Skins for Clark, basically in his civilian identity. He's in his reporter suit, but it's ripped open partially, and he's got the Superman logo poking out. There's also one skin that is based the Superman skin that is based on the old Superman Flesher cartoons from back in the 30s. And I've seen a few of those actually. They're not bad, but I don't know, they're just a bit dated, but this was before when DC was still like, this was when DC was a bit different back then. Okay, so Clark's voice lines in particular are unique because even though the skin is not in the game yet, some of his voice lines actually come from his Beach Ready skin and his 4th of July skin variant. Okay, see, this is what I hate about you Samurai Jack players. Stop doing that. Stop edge guarding like that.
See why you have your stand?
Another of these civilian skins would be Batman in his Bruce Wayne civilian identity. Not sure how that will look. The only image is more of a placeholder image. It's not an actual image of how it looks. Then there's one where Harley as Dr. Harleen Quinzel. This is before she became crazy and would fall in love with the Joker and all that. Man, I'm getting distracted by seeing this, but I'm pretty sure I lost this fight. Because, actually, yeah, I know I lost this fight, but I think I came close to winning. But then, dumb lag kicked in at the last minute, as always. It's just annoying that it does that to me. Then there was voice lines for Brain Gremlin from the sequel, Gremlins 2. There's also voice lines for Pickle Rick, but I believe Pickle Rick is actually his own character. Some of his voice lines imply that he is his own character and not just a skin variant for Rick. Not sure what Pickle Rick's thing would be. I want to see if I win this or not. I don't think I win this. Oh, yeah, no, I don't. Well, hard for me to remember. I did all of this last night, or the night before, so I don't remember. I did win this. I thought I lost this fight. Well, okay, I think that's all I'll go over with Reindog and everything else I've talked about. I've went on long enough. So, there's only 2 matches left I do, and I know I lose both of them. So, we'll just see you at the end of this.
미안하지만 지셨어요.
Disgusting. I know your moves. Seems like someone needs to touch grass. Get back here. Get back here. Crushing blow. Now I'm just getting angry. Crushing blow. With precision. Come at me.
빨간 팀 점수 가졌어요.
I'll make this quick.
미안하지만 지셨어요.
Well, that's it, everyone. One long video of Reindog matches, all because he has that many outfits. That'll do for this episode of Multiverses. Join me next time as we... I'm not too sure, actually. I don't know if there's going to be a brand new character dropping.
누구 선택할
I
거예요?
doubt it, but if so, next time we will do Rick. So that is it, and I will see you guys next time.
Pooh, pooh.